Cleveland on the Rocks. And Lies in the Bourbon Bar. And I'm Matt. And that's Keith. Keith is our residential beer expert. He's going to teach us about beer because I don't know a lot about beer. I know how to make jokes about beer and that it has a percentage of alcohol, but I was wrong. And Keith is going to fix all the things that I said that were incorrect for all you guys out there that were like, Matt, you have no idea what you're talking about with beer. I don't at all, and I'm honest, and that's cool. But we're going to do this. We're going to start us off with a
Goose Island.
Goose Island Bourbon County brand stout. Super cool looking bottle. I saw this in Berea. I was like, that is super cool. They have a beer on the counter, and it was right next to Rowan's Creek, and I was like, that's super cool. So, what do we know about this beer that differs this from other beers that we would get?
So, right now with this one, it gets released once a year, right after Thanksgiving every year. They usually have a few different variants. This is just their base one, though, so anywhere from $15, anywhere up to $40. This is their $15 one. Again, it's 14.3% alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Which, as Matt would say, it's 28 proof.
Right?
So,
but we figured out that that's not how that works. I figured it was just times it by 2.
It is 28 proof, but it all depends on how much you actually drink. If you have 2.5 shots of some of these, it's going to equal out one of these bottles. So
yeah, we learned this. So this would be equivalent to a shot and a half of anything that's about 120 proof.
2.5 shots.
2.5 shots.
Yeah.
Per one bottle of this.
Right.
So if you want to drink your Booker's or your Knob Creek 120, you would do 2.5 shots of that to this one beer. I'm like, man, that's insane. Oh, this is not one of them twist off type things, is it?
No.
There we go. All right. So it's got the fancy pop open thing here. So we're not gonna have a big pop noise. So I feel like we should like make a pop noise for this. Maybe online. You know? So, all right. So we pour this
Just
into
like
the glass,
yep.
just normal.
More than likely, it's not really going to be carbonated because of the percentage of alcohol.
Wow.
So it does have some carbonation, but it doesn't usually foam like your normal
Dude, it looks
lighter
like
beers.
coffee. Yeah. You notice that? It's like, looks dead on like coffee. So super dark looking. So is this going to have my legs like my normal like whiskey would have when I spin it around the glass? It's like, oh, these legs walk down the glass forever? Or how does that work with the beer?
With a beer, you're not really going to notice it as much. I mean, it's going to stick a little bit with the foam and with all that, but, you know,
yeah, it doesn't have like the
people
legs
aren't really spinning this around to try to look at it.
right? Yeah, when you're drinking a beer, you're not normally pouring it into like a Glencairn. I'm gonna figure out the glass situation here at some point. I feel like we're gonna do that because we can try all kinds of like super cool bourbon beers. That's awesome. So, wow, that smells. What is the smell in there?
I get a little bit of chocolate.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't really get the whiskey or the bourbon that you would expect with some barrel-aged stuff. But, again, this is the 2022 version, so it hasn't had time to settle, where a lot of people will let these cellar in their basements and wherever they have for anywhere from 2 to 5 years sometimes.
Really?
It'll change the flavors. It will actually settle down to the bottom, so you're going to get different flavors off
crazy.
the different variants.
Even in the bottle.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, from what I've heard, is this seal will allow some air in and out.
Ah, okay.
So it will allow it to kind of change over years. Yes.
That's crazy. And that's why they have these corks that just seal everything off, and it's supposed to not let anything out because then the alcohol content goes down and it lessens it. But that's crazy. That's really cool. So this one's supposed to be enjoy. Oh, it tells you to drink this in a snifter. I don't know what a snifter is, but I feel like we're going to get one of those because that seems to be something that we should probably have.
It's not going to look much different than this, except a little bit larger.
Is it just round on the top instead of being like this?
Yeah, it's going to be anywhere from 8 ounce, 10 ounce type glass. So
this smells almost like hazelnut and with the chocolate in there and a little bit of a... What is that? It's one of those weird spices that you use when you make ham.
Clove?
Cloves? Is that the spike things?
Yeah.
Yes, it has like a weird that smell to it. I feel like this is going to be good though because it's already dark and it's like super cool. And the bubbles go away and they just leave itself around the glass. That's weird. Super cool. You ready to taste this?
Sure.
And see what we get here? Dude, the more you spin it, the more bubbles come up.
Yep.
That's super. So it just releases itself in there? So is that what happens in your stomach? It like opens up your
so
stomach and...
like you had said in previous, you are supposed to pour it so the bubbles do come up, and and that will release some of the gases. That way, you're not feeling so bloated.
Right.
But if you drink enough, you're always going to feel bloated.
Right. Right. Well, we're going to see how much of this we can go down then, right?
We got 16.9 ounces, and we've got about 4 poured. So.
Oh yeah, sounds good. All right, man. Cheers. Oh, that's different. Oh, wow. So it's like it's like fruity and chocolate. Almost like a chocolate-covered raisin type of thing. And it's got that super sweet at the end. That's crazy. This is good.
The malt doesn't overfill anything that you would normally get. And the whiskey or the bourbon, those flavors are mild compared to...
It is. Beyond the chocolate in there... You can almost taste like the barrel taste in it, like the dried wood in it, like almost like a light tobacco taste in it. But it's not super killer like I would normally get in this, where I'm like, yeah, that's some smoking. That's not there prominently. This is good though.
Yeah, again, this is
I like this.
It's a sipper. You're not going to want to try to chug the whole bottle by yourself unless you're sitting in your basement and
like we did.
Not planning on going anywhere, and
I feel like I would be like, hey, we're gonna do this. Let's chug this and see what happens and see where we go from here. So what happens? So when you don't pour this in a glass and you just drink it, wouldn't it just open up in your stomach and then you'd be like full?
Yep, very quickly. I never realized how bad it was until pouring everything in a glass and then going on a bar crawl where you only have cans and bottles, and then all of a sudden you have 2 beers and you're like, why am I so full?
Yeah.
And growing up, you're like, oh, I'm fine, and then all of a sudden you're throwing up everywhere. And
right. This is very okay. So, do you get like a weird raspberry chocolate?
Yes,
with the thing?
there is.
It's like a, I don't know what that is.
And reading the back, it does say toffee, chocolate, burnt sugar, and dried fruit.
Yeah.
So I can definitely taste like the raspberry mix or a type of berry in there.
And a chocolate where it's that thickness in it. I feel that. That's good. This is the things that I look for in the maker's bottles that I buy, and this is why I buy them, because they have these flavors in them, but you have to find it, and it's after the burn. And it's like, but there's no burn in this. It's just super easy. It's like thick, but it's easy to drink. I could see me drinking one of these. This would be cool. So all you guys that I've came over your house and all of a sudden you give me a beer and I'm like, ugh, why have you never gave me one of these? Because I feel like I would like this and be like, oh, this is super cool. Let me get some of these.
These are probably hidden in our basement, and we don't let people go down there because we don't want to lose these bottles to someone else. I mean, that's what happens.
But I mean, everybody comes to my basement and I'm like, hey, you want to try this? Like, you come over today. I'm like, Keith, what do you want to try?
But
it's open.
Some of these you can get all year round. This, again, it's a right after Thanksgiving, and then if you go to certain stores, they're sold out, and if you go to the back stores that somehow get this, and you're like, you guys carry these? They're like, yes.
That's cool.
So
you just got to know where to get it. That's like me with liquor stores. That's the thing with beer. He's like, hey, I know the back store where we can get this at. I'm like, super cool. Let's do that.
I went to Broadview Heights to get this one.
Did you? I saw this in Bria.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, right on the store, right on the thing. They're like, Matt, and I'm like, but it's beer. Why do I want to buy beer? I'm like, Rowan's Creek. Okay. This, I'm like, I don't know. It looks cool. It says bourbon on it.
Right.
But I don't know. But now I'm like, man, I kind of wish I would have bought that. And I feel like I should just buy these and let them sit here for like 5 years and be like, Keith, check this out.
So
2022.
Yeah. So like, people right now, 2018, 2019, 2020 bottles sitting in their basements. And, if they have a bunch, usually I have one buddy that yearly, he'll be like, all right, let's open them. And we'll try these different ones and see what the differences are. Because technically this one should stay the same every year.
Right.
But as it ages, it's going to change.
Does that change? That doesn't change the alcohol percentage because you don't have a barrel for it to breathe in and out, right?
Alcohol won't change. It'll just be a little bit of the flavors will change. So you might get more whiskey in 1 year, or the bourbon barrel in 1 year compared to the fruits and stuff like that.
That would be awesome. That would be super awesome. This is super cool. I feel like we're going to do a beer episode either every week, every other week. Whenever Keith is free, we can do that. Because I feel like this is super cool. And we can learn about beers and the percentage of what we would compare this to. And this is really, really good. I like this. Like, this is absolutely fantastic. So if you do see this at the store, this one costs 15
About
bucks?
15 bucks, yeah.
This would be about 15 bucks. I've seen them in Berea. They have them at the Ross Liquor on Bagley over there if you're in Ohio.
This is the one that's more available no matter what. They might sell out. A lot of them will still have them.
Does one of them have a blue top here?
They have numerous different colors.
Okay, I was going to say, there was a blue one there too. I seen that. I don't know if it's still there. I have no idea. But, like, I seen it. So, yeah, if you can find these, this is super good. And I'm now getting into beer, so I would feel like this would be something that I would pick up and just like, I got this. It's super cool. So, hell yeah. But, like we tell you in every video, if you guys are drinking while you're watching us, don't drink and drive. Do the thing. Call an Uber. Call your mom. Call TJ. Get home safe. People love you. They want to see you again. And make sure you like, share, subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagrams. All them things. And thank you guys for watching.